Hey everybody, welcome to Vision One Media Artist Shoutout. I'm your host Ella Beth, and in today's episode we're going to be talking to an artist who I recently met here at the studios. He's an artist who does some really, really cool stuff in the rap world and in the hip hop world, and he works with some amazing artists. And so without further ado, welcome J. Rain.
You said it right on the first. Hey, shout out to you. Thank you, Ella Beth. I appreciate that.
For getting your name right?
Yes, you know how many people get my name wrong?
What do they think it is?
It's like J. Do Train, anything but the correct name. So thank you for getting it right.
J. Do Train. True.
Yeah.
So I that was the question I was going to ask before. Where did you get your name, J. Rain?
Man, somebody just asked me this the other day, and I didn't have a correct answer for them. I've had it for so long, so I really don't remember. I've had it at least since high school. So I used to go by my government name is Juwan Rainey, and then I used to go by J Rainey, and then I just shortened it to, maybe I gave myself the name like J. Rain. You know what I'm saying? So maybe it was me. Maybe I gave myself a name. I know that's kind of corny, but
no, I think that's cool. You gotta. I mean, nothing wrong with your government name. Nothing wrong with.
I gave myself the name.
Yeah. Okay.
Back in high school.
Okay.
We'll go with that.
And is that what you just go by, like?
J. Rain, Rainey. Some along those lines.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what your friends call you, and that's what your fans know you as.
Yeah.
What do your family call you?
Juwan.
Okay. All right. Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about how you got into music.
I've always been a fan of making noise. Since a child, I've always been like beating on things, beatboxing, knocking on doors, tapping on things. So I would say I've always been inspired. You know, everyone always starts with I started in the church. Well, I am from Alabama, grew up in the church environment, sung in the choir, did all that type of stuff. So I had that influence, but I also am musically inclined. I've been playing an instrument since the 6th grade, played the tuba from 6th through 12th grade. Then I went to college. I marched 1 year in the HBCU band, so I have that experience as well. So I would say just being around music and just enjoying, being a fan of music, being around it with church, those are things that influenced me to kind of get into it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's interesting to me. So in Australia, we don't have marching bands so much in like high schools the way that American high schools do. What was it that pulled you to the tuba? Because I played the French horn once, and I didn't stick with it very long. It was just so many things to do, and I don't know, I wasn't very good at it. So why the tuba?
I think, well, honestly, I didn't pick the tuba. Like, I wanted to play drums like my uncle. My uncle was a drummer, and I wanted to play, drums like him. But my band director at the time was like, "Oh, we got enough drummers. We got this tuba over here. You know what I'm saying? Go get on the tuba. Go get on the tuba.
Pick that up.
Yeah. So it started with that, and I kind of took a liking to it. It was like one of the more easier. It wasn't a saxophone, so you didn't have to hold it like this. It just had three compartments that you press down on, and that was my thing. And I stuck to it, and I figured it out, became section leader and all that type of stuff. So it played a good part.
Okay.
Yeah.
So coming out of like doing the marching band and stuff, what were the driving forces in bringing you to the music that you make today? Like what's that evolution been like? Going from church to marching band or marching band to church or whatever it was in your early years. How did you evolve to becoming the musician that you are today and the music you do? Well,
I've been recording music since I was a senior in high school. So I had friends who had like a makeshift studio, and they would like invite me over and be like, "Man, you need to get on," because I've always been into writing poetry. So it started with poetry, and then they would be like, "Man, you should put some of them poems on some of these beats." So like I would be rapping over some of the popular instrumentals at the time, and I enjoyed hearing myself in the headphones and hearing myself on beats. I'm like, "Man, this is cool." They're like, "Man, you should be a rapper. This sound good." You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I started with that, and then leaving high school, going into my freshman year of college, one of the guys that I was recording with early on, he ended up going to the same school as me. So I was able to like, his dorm was on the same floor as mine. So I'll be like, "Hey, let me come in there and try this out real quick."
Yeah.
And it just started with that. And I just kept getting better and kept trying. And here we are today, almost 11 years later. I've released about 10 projects, you know what I'm saying?
Wow.
I've traveled all over the world, performed in Sweden, you know what I'm saying? I've done a lot of different things, so I'm just blessed to be in this position.
I love that. I love that. So with like traveling around the world, was that like with collaboratory projects, or were you pushing your own music, or like how have you grown as an artist?
So the whole Sweden thing, that happened courtesy of one of my mentors. His name is CP. And when I was in college, at the time, this is like 2011, 2009. From 2009 to 2011, the number 5 independent record label, according to Billboard, was in Huntsville, Alabama, where I was going to school.
Oh, wow.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Okay.
Not many people know that. Shout out to Slow Motion Sounds.
Slow Motion Sounds.
Yeah. So I was interning at their studio because that's what I was doing for school. So I was getting free studio time. I was traveling with them because they had a hip hop duo at the time. A lot of people don't know this either. G-Side, which is 2 guys from Huntsville, Alabama, and they were doing like Pitchfork Festival. They're doing like major festivals. They're getting like looks on the fader and all this type of stuff. So I'm pretty much the roadie. I'm carrying their bags, whatever they need. I'm taking pictures. I'm on the stage. Whatever they need, I was there. So CP gave me an opportunity to just be around. Mm-hmm. He was pushing me, doing all this stuff. Well, some type of way, he ended up in Sweden. But he's always been pushing me. And he was like, hey, do you want to come out? Whenever you want to come out to Sweden and let me know, I got you. You can come out here and record. We'll introduce you to all the people. We'll take you to the music school, let you like be the real cool guy. And, you know, at the time, I'm like, man, that's far. Like, I don't know if I want to go to Sweden. Like, I don't know. So he asked me one day, he was like, yo, what are you doing from this day to this day? Do you have anything planned? And I'm like, not really. I'm still in Huntsville. I had just graduated college, so I'm just kind of figuring it out or whatever. And maybe a couple minutes later, he sent me back a flight itinerary. It was like, all right, you're going to fly from here to New York. From New York, you'll be in Sweden. So he bought my tickets and was like, you have no choice but to come.
Yeah.
So I did it, and it was cool. It was one of the best experiences of my life, for sure.
Yeah. That's incredible. I've always wanted to go to Sweden. I hear that. I mean, not that I hear like Swedish producers, Swedish songwriters are, if not some of the best in the world, some of the most prolific.
It's like, a lot of love over there too.
Absolutely, yeah. I really love the. I've met a few Swedish musicians, and they're just so about like community and networking and building the music scene and the culture as like a wider community. Yeah. And I really love that about their attitude towards recording and the scene. And yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, shout out to CP, the whole Slow Motion Sound, Cody G, everybody. I appreciate y'all for all y'all do and always supporting me.
Keep supporting young artists.
Yeah,
we love that.
Sure.
We love that. So in coming back and talking about things on this side of the pond, what would you say has been like your biggest change in your career? You said that you've worked on about 10, like you've released about 10 different projects. Where would you say has been like the biggest growth in your career in that time?
Learning the business, working for myself. Because, you know, when you don't have a team or when you don't have like a big team, it's a little, you know, the responsibilities are a little more close-knit and you have to do things yourself. So it would be that, as well as, I guess, my subject matter, not just talking about small things or things that aren't really hitting people to make them feel it. You know what I'm saying? I had to switch that up. I was just talking about things that I wasn't doing. You know, when I started talking about things that were relative to my life and giving people a peek into what was going on with me, it was like things started hitting a little bit different. You know what I'm saying? So.
Yeah. So what do you write about? What do you take inspiration from?
Wins, losses, relationships, love, just things that I've been through over the past few years. You know what I'm saying? It gets deeper and deeper with, you know, the time that I've spent. And that's why I don't like to release music so often, because I like to give myself time to experience things. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people, they like to just drop. And while that's cool, it's like you get burnt out and nobody can really feel what you're talking about, because what are you talking about? You know?
Right.
So it took me, I just dropped this last project, No Stone Lasts Forever, in November, and it took me like 2 years to record it.
Okay.
Yeah.
And had you already written the material for it, or were you like writing as you were recording?
Writing as I was recording. I took some time off. I moved back to Alabama for a little while. I just had a lot of different things that were hitting me and happening to me. So it just
not in the least the fact that the world was going through a global pandemic like that.
All of that at the same time. So it was so much going on to hit me, but I was able to finish it, and the response has been crazy.
Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Sure.
So you released No Stone Left Unturned. Is that what?
No, that's close. No Storm Lasts Forever.
No Storm Lasts. Sorry, I was like trying to remember. No Storm Lasts Forever. Okay, first of all, I love that. That's a very inspirational title.
For sure.
Is it EP length or LP length?
Album length.
Album length. Nice. Is it your first full length album?
Second.
Second. Okay. Yeah. So before this one, when was your last drop?
My last drop was July of 2020.
Okay. Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Okay, so with this new album that you've just released, you're getting some traction on it. It's going really well. You've got some exciting things coming up in the works.
Yeah, it's a lot of great things have been happening, man. It just recently, one of the songs just recently got picked up by the San Francisco 49ers.
Cool.
Yeah, so they put it in some of their social media content, as well as Adidas picked up the same song. So
nice.
It's just been a lot of great things that are added to the momentum, and I'm just really excited about it.
49ers and Adidas. We want to see some. We want to see some tickets, and we want to see some shoes on this man.
Yeah, for sure. I need all that for real.
We love that. We love to see it. So I met you through OG Dos Equis. Yeah, we love OG. Shout out to OG and the crew. How did you all meet each other and get involved?
So man, me and OG went to college together.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Right.
And you know what's crazy? I had no clue that he made music in school. He was so quiet. You know what I'm saying?
He was quiet?
Yeah, he's very quiet. and it's crazy because now he's like so outspoken.
He's the man in the party.
You know we doing everything together. But he's a very cool guy, very stand-up guy. When I moved to Atlanta, we ended up crossing paths again. And this is when I found out that he was a musician. And I'm like, yo, we need to do something together. You know what I'm saying? If anything, let's do it for the school. You know what I'm saying? We went to school together. We need to stick together type shit. So we did one show together, and he would invite me over to his crib. You know, we would practice in the garage. You know what I'm saying? We really had that like homegrown feel going on. He's always supported me, so I always got nothing but love for OG, man.
So what about this is not one of your projects, this is one of his projects, but Orchestra Noir, would you ever...
Hell yeah, I want to. I want to so bad. You know what I'm saying? That's on my bucket list.
Me too. I'm like, they're so cool.
Yeah.
So you've got a performance coming up at the end of March.
March 30th.
And it's going to be all your new material, correct? So tell me about that. How's the process been for like working with the band and getting like your support acts together and getting the word out there?
Yeah, it's been cool. Like it's cool for me because I performed with those guys before, so it's just like everybody has gotten better since the last time we performed. So it's like, you know, I know you've been working, so let's see how good let's see how good you are on the keys now. Or I know you've been working, let's see how much of a better performer you are now. So we just been sizing each other up, and we've been getting these performances together with the practicing, and I'm just happy to be around them and have that love and support from them. We're gonna have some supporting acts. I got a guy that I've been working with and doing a little bit of artist development, because even before I wanted to be an artist, I wanted to be an A&R. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to work for a label.
Cool.
So I've been getting off into that. This guy that I met not too long ago, I think I've pretty much spent the last 90 days with him, just working on his music, working on like marketing for him. And it gives me an opportunity to like step outside of the artist role and like polish somebody else up with the things that I've learned. You know what I'm saying? And that's a passion of mine, just being able to help others.
That is so beautiful. I really resonate with that. And I think too, like, there's something to be said of being able to step outside of your own creativity and still do something that's parallel to your creativity. You're just doing it in a different capacity. I think that's really important, because you're still working in what your dream and what your passion is. You're just doing it in a slightly different way. So how have you like developed yourself as someone who helps to develop other artists? Like what grew that as a passion for you?
Just taking experiences that I've had and understanding like, damn, I don't want other people to be in these situations that I've been in or feel the way that I felt. So it's like, let me just help somebody, or let me just lend a hand, because I'm not looking for anything in return. Like a lot of these people, they're looking for things in return, but this is stuff that I would have did anyway. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
yeah.
I enjoy that, and being able to see my ideas come to fruition. It's like, all right, well, you're not as crazy as you thought. You really can do this. You know what I'm saying? So
meanwhile, cool. A million ideas are running around in the head all the time,
all day.
So, tell me, what has been one of your biggest challenges in your career so far? And tell me what has been one of your greatest triumphs in your career so far?
We'll start with the bad first.
Mm-hmm.
One of the hardest things is just staying out of my head. You know what I'm saying?
I feel you.
I'm an only child. I spend a lot of time by myself. So it's like, you know, you have so much time to just think. Think. And I'm constantly trying to find new ways to propel my brand. It's just a lot going on that I have to really stop myself from talking myself off the ledge sometimes.
Yeah.
And so that's been pretty tough. And I think one of my greatest triumphs will be releasing this project. You know what I'm saying? Because it was really hard for me to get over the hump. I had half of it done, and then the pandemic hit, and it just was like, all right, what are you gonna do? What do you need to get back in the studio? Because I had my own studio, I could record it myself, but it's like mentally I just wasn't there. So I had to really push myself to get it done, start back recording videos, start back doing content. And once I started hitting that stride again, that's when I was like, all right, you good, you got this. And then we released it. It's been a great response. You know, the numbers are still doing great. So, you know, I just want to continue to push it.
And have you seen in this, since your new release, have you seen not just with listens on Spotify and all of that, not the numbers there, but have you also seen your fan base growing?
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's people coming from the East Coast, West Coast, up top, North, South, everywhere, you know, it's love.
That's so exciting. That's really cool. And do you think that's what sort of separates this release from your other releases, that you feel like you did even more work than usual because you had to put yourself in there and get over the hump? Do you feel like that's what's really brought it home? Yeah,
honestly, I feel like I just checked off all the boxes this time.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like when we do things, a lot of times we may check off 3 of the boxes, and that 4th box may be the one that brings it all together. But this time I was just like, all right, I'm not going to release anything until I do A through Z.
Mm-hmm.
And here we are.
Cool. You're really proud of it. I love that. I love to see that. So I like to ask artists this, if you could share, just say it's a one-day mini music festival, if you could share a playbill with any artist, let's go dead or alive, who would the 4 artists, I feel like a 5-artist playbill is pretty good. Who are the other 4 artists you'd love to share a show with?
Okay, so I'm at the top. So
right? You're the headline.
They come in before me. But it would probably be dead or alive. Let's do me, Tupac.
You know what? I feel like I knew you were going to say that. I was like...
me, Tupac, Drake.
Yeah.
Jay-Z.
Okay.
And Kanye.
I thought you were going to say that too. I feel like when if you talk about Jay-Z, they're peers, they're the same sort of similar era and everything. Okay.
Yeah.
I'd come to that show.
For sure.
I'd definitely be there.
I like to brag on the fact that I actually met him too.
Jay-Z or Kanye?
Jay-Z.
Really?
Yeah.
What was he like in real life?
Man, it happened so fast. I caught him after he was coming off stage.
Okay.
And I just, I've been a big Jay-Z fan. Anybody that knows me, they'll tell you oh, that man loved Jay-Z to death. It was just cool. He was very nice. Granted, he was just coming off stage. He could have been like, nah, I'm good. I don't feel like talking. But he stopped. He talked to me. He thanked me for, being at the show. I asked him to take a picture. I pulled my phone out. It's dead.
Oh, no. Pixar, it didn't happen,
Yeah, facts. But, I like to brag on that just because it's a testament of everything that I've been through, and just being able to be coachable, learn, and put myself in position to be successful at all times.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think there's also like a value in when you meet your like idols per se, and when they are cool and down to earth. It's like that to me is always like, first of all, I'm like, cool. It means that I've been inspired by the right kind of person. And second of all, if that's how like my idol per se is, like that's what I want to be for people who are looking up to me in the industry, you know?
Exactly.
So where would you how to ask this? Where do you see yourself by the end of this year?
Man, I'm going so hard right now.
I feel like you're like your train is like I'm gonna be touring by the end of the year. Okay.
I'm gonna be on a lot more platforms by the end of this year. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna have that same song that was picked up by the 49ers. It will be picked up by Madden 2024 as well as NBA 2K24 by the end of this year.
Okay.
I'm speaking all this into existence right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Manifest it. Come on. Yeah.
It's just gonna be, everything is gonna be on a higher level. I just feel like right now I'm doing the work that needs to be done, and there's no reason why anything that I put my mind to doesn't happen this year.
Absolutely, and I think I don't know about other artists. That feels very true for me. It feels like 2022, after coming through the pandemic, was like a year of sort of like chrysalis, like cocooning, and just like really ruminating on everything that had happened, and using that to like inspire more. And 2023 is when like all of that comes out. It's like a sponge, you know.
Yes.
We like took so much in for 2 years, like we all took and 2022 was like take a breath and survey it all, and 2023 is like being able to make something out of that and make something of it. I love that for you. And all artists out there, like if this is 2023 is your year too, 2023 is my year. So cool. And I wanted to quickly ask about, do you have any more drops coming this year? Or not that you can, he does, but it's a secret. I can, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we'll have to be...
We working on a lot of different things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. So can you tell the audience where to find you on social media, Instagram, Spotify, TikTok, YouTube, whatever you use?
You can follow me on all social media platforms at JAYDOTRAIN. Yeah, all of them are the same. Oh, and also y'all can follow my new venture that I'm working on with my boy JL and my boy .9, the Aux House, THE.AUXHOUSE. If you're in Atlanta and you're looking for a place to come play your records, network in a 420 friendly environment, you know, come pull up to the Aux House and come vibe with us.
Oh yeah. So before we go, just tell me a little bit about Aux House. What are you working on?
So it really was just the idea that, you know, we had to shine light on the studio where I record at, and we came up with the idea January 26th. We had the first one January 31st. We might have put the flyer up 9 hours before the event. I think maybe like 60 people pulled up.
Wow,
you know
cool.
what I'm saying? So we've been just cultivating the idea, putting a lot of time and effort into it, and we've kind of built a community. Like, people look forward to it. Like, we didn't have it last Tuesday, and people were like beating the DMs down, like, why are we not doing it Tuesday? You know what I'm saying? We got food, we got drinks, you know, come kick it in a safe environment. People are like working with each other. They might, a producer might play some beats and an artist might play some beats, and then I get on Instagram the next day and I see that they're together working on some different stuff that they, you know, heard at the event. So it's just a cool thing to see all this coming together. I feel like it's going to be one of the bigger events in Atlanta within the next year.
Awesome. And I love that people like you with such a heart for networking and such a passion for like inspiring the next generation and like being a role model in artist development. Like, that's the perfect thing for you to be doing, because you're just working in that and you're helping other people to find their thing and find their tribe and find their sound. So I love that. Thank you for what you do for the community.
I appreciate it.
Cool. Well, thank you for coming in today as well.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it. I was like, dang, she hit me up pretty quick. Like, she must have really liked what she heard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, that one track. What is the name of that track with the awesome background vocals that was like blaring through the car park? Because I am here for that.
It might be The Storm Is Over. I think it might have been, that's a sample from Kirk Franklin. It's produced by my boy, Jay Fooley, who is also from Alabama. I think it was The Storm Is Over. That's track number 2.
Okay, cool. Track number 2 on the new album.
Yo.
And you can check all of that out at j.rain on Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, all the places, right?
That's it.
j.rain and all the places. And if you want to come and do this and be in an interview, you want to talk about your music and your experience and all the things that you're working on as an artist here in Atlanta or Georgia or even the wider area if you're around, we would love to hear from you. You can find us at Vision One Media ATL on Instagram. We're on YouTube. We're on Facebook. You can email us at vision1social@gmail.com, and we'd love to talk about your projects. We'd love to talk about having you on the podcast. We're always looking for new, fresh talent and new people to connect with and collaborate with. So it'd be awesome to see y'all. But thank you so much for your time.
Thank you. You're a natural.
Thank you. I like to think I'm good at what I do. I like it. Yeah, cool. Yeah. Well, we'll see y'all next time.
Peace.
Peace.